Works. All right, cool. So this is working.
We're on at 5, 4, 3.
5, 4, 3, 2 now.
What is going on, Mr. Salvi?
No, I tried to go out of my house and the police pulled me over and told me to go back.
Are you serious?
Now I'm in here quarantined, just like the rest of us. It's weird. It's not a quarantine. It's a stay-at-home order. Which means
it's punishment for grown-ups. It's punishment for everyone.
It is. It's weird. Going outside and still seeing people that are like when you have to go to the store. It's strange. It was too quick.
Yeah, they're living like their regular lives. So it's like.
Yeah. But I just mean like the distance that you have to keep and the distance that everybody like. You know, when you bump, or even just when you walk past somebody, you're usually just like the polite thing that, like, oh, excuse me. They don't even like, you don't even talk.
They just move.
Just move. Just get out of the pocket.
I feel like a queen when I'm out there.
Kind of feels like that, doesn't it?
It's like.
I do. I feel like a queen when I'm out there. Like because everybody's just getting out of your way, and like everybody just automatically does it.
You know, in New York, they have walk etiquette.
What is it? Walking.
Walk etiquette. So.
Walk etiquette, yeah. You
know, you got to stay on one side or the other. You know what I mean? Like you don't walk in the middle, like everybody bumping into each other. So maybe that'll be applied here in Philadelphia with this coronavirus thing going on. People are already doing it without saying anything. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like when we were up in New York and you were teaching Jackie how to walk. You're like, knees to chest, people, knees to chest. Yeah, this is going to be a whole new way of living now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now people are starting to come to the grips of the reality is that they may not be out of their house until like midsummer, at best. Like there's people with, there's someone.
I can't do midsummer.
Well, you're going to have to.
I'm going to have to 302 myself because this is going to drive me insane.
Well, then you're with a whole bunch of other people, and then you can't leave. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Is the only way out is to like check me in.
Just check me in, bro, because I'm gonna check out there at least here on being monitored.
Yeah. I don't know. How are you holding up?
I'm doing great, actually. I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. I got the girls back. I was alone for 2 days. That was kind of weird. That was awkward.
Yeah, that's when you started dancing and doing the avocado video.
No, I did that when they got here, but it was like I just couldn't be home. Like I couldn't find myself. I wanted to be home, but I found myself being out and walking around a lot. Like I was just like going out and just walking around my neighborhood. Like.
Yeah, I bought one of these peanut chews. And for anybody that doesn't know what the significance of these are, is that they have a bowl of these at the Comedy Joint constantly, and we just scoop them up. And it's just like, honestly, this was like the one thing that kind of like, things sneak into your heart and just hit your emotions, and they sneak in like the coronavirus. So you don't even notice they're popping in, and they just come in like little droplets. And that's what this freaking thing was. Because I was like,
that's crazy, because that was going to be my next question. So you just like segued right in.
What's that?
Like, what is it that you missed that you haven't been doing that you miss about the last 2 days? And that's a symbol of something that you miss, from somewhere that we go to a lot.
Yeah, it's not the actual peanut chews that I miss. It's just the it's the environment. It's being at the Comedy Joint, like all the stuff that Keith from Up the Block created, like that energy that's there. It's just you can always show up no matter what. And no matter what's going on, it's just like everything just kind of disappears when you're there. Even if you don't go inside, even if you just stand outside. And that's I don't know, I miss all that.
Yeah.
Miss all that, just being around everybody and something silly happening and looking over at you and cracking up. And like, it's just all these, there's a lot of stuff that I miss.
So how are we going to greet each other now when we see each other now? Like, because I've noticed as well, when I do go outside and I see someone that I haven't seen in a while or something, we're like, do we fist bump? Do we elbow?
We're bowing. That's what I'm doing.
Bowing.
Listen, The Chinese have been ahead of us for a long time. They got the virus beat. They've been bowing at each other for years. No.
That's true. That's true.
In all seriousness, I mean, listen, just the idea of like taking your shoes off, not touching each other, you know, and when you bow, I mean, it's actually like you're humbling yourself to the other person. You're not supposed to always look high. You're supposed to look down. You're supposed to show them your humility. And you can do that from 6, 7, 20, 30 feet away.
I'm just going to hit people with this. I'm a Hitler, everybody.
Don't do that. I definitely am not doing that one.
I'll do it gladly. And I'm saying it right now here because I don't want you guys to think that I'm being disrespectful. It's just my new way of saying hello.
Well, maybe don't call it the Hitler. Maybe just wave. And instead of going like this, go like, just lift
That's too much.
Queen.
I can't. My carpal tunnel starts acting up when I do this.
Don't do it too much. But the Queen doesn't do it too much. She just does that.
I'm just going to wiggle my pinky.
Thank you. Yeah.
Man.
I think a lot of people are just hopeful, but I'm not trying to win a bet here. I would love to lose this bet, but I'm thinking August maybe.
I don't want to do that. I'm thinking May will be slowly let off because you can't. This is going to be mayhem out here. What are you going to wait? What's next? You're going to wait for murders and robberies to go up to like 50,000 people dying a day from getting robbed because they have toilet paper in their house?
Let's just jump right into that for a second because I think this is a really important perspective for people to have. A good friend of mine pointed this out to me, and it's, it only makes sense. So the National Guard is here helping, doing whatever they're doing. All opinions aside about it. The police and the National Guard all have stand-down orders to not shoot looters. Okay? So when it gets to the point where people are just looting stores, I mean, forget the Targets and the Walmarts. Those things are going to be there, but they're already getting regulated down to the point where it's like pickup only and kind of whatever they get. So at this point, we're kind of at the whim of these big box stores. But all these little mom and pop shops, once they start getting robbed 3-4 times, they're going to stop ordering. And they're going to stop stocking up their stores. So you're not going to be able to run down to the store as easily as you can. So, while right now money's tight or whatever, I mean, any way you can find a way to sit on at least 4 weeks worth of food and at least a week's worth of water is a great idea. So
well, then I need to go to the grocery store tomorrow. I was going to go today because I do have to go grocery shopping today and get like meat and stuff like that. But
not a bad idea.
I'm buying smart though. I'm buying like smart. Like I'm really couponing and stuff like that so I can stack up on stuff.
Because sign up for whatever you can, like any way you can save money, but like especially like just stuff. Even if you have a hard time storing stuff, like get stuff that's like if you're running out of space in your freezer, then just get stuff that you don't have to freeze, canned goods, all that. Yeah. Like this is it. This is go full bloom prepper. Okay, and worst case scenario is if we do get let out in May, you got a bunch of food that's gonna last you for a while.
Yeah, we can have a cookout.
All that stuff. Yeah, I mean, like stuff that's gonna keep you alive.
Yeah. So, peanut butter and jelly, beans, rice.
Rice. Yeah. People are still starting. I don't know. Hopefully they start to figure that out, but not all at once. Where all the beans are gone. Like
yeah. So I'm thinking as well with this. Like we have to prep for all this stuff as well, and then like there's a lot of people. Like I said, like there's people losing their jobs and stuff like that at this point. I was talking to a friend of mine as well. And he was saying, he works for SEPTA, we all know. So he was like, pretty soon they're going to stop working too. But the good thing about these people, they all have they have time that they can use for the time being. I was just reading online as well that people need to start using like their paid vacation time, like all that vacation time they have stored, just start using that. Yeah. I guess wait till the last minute, wait until they're really about to shut everything down and then go that route. You know what I mean? Like unemployment and all that. If you don't have to right now, don't apply for it. If you do have a job and you're working, like work until they tell you can't come to work no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all going to be really interesting. I don't know. I think overall, like there's not like there's not a shortage of stuff.
No.
Just this over demand, this whatever. But you know, the thing is on the factory end too. These guys are going to stop showing up to work, where there may have been 300 people that would come to a factory every day to do whatever. Maybe there's only 10 now.
Yeah.
It's not the product, you know, overall production can slow down or whatever, and they can try to get around whatever. But I don't know. I just think that the next few, but all this being said, I mean, all this, as alarming as it all sounds. So once you get all that stuff out of the way, you can kind of clear space for your brain and like your mindset, and then you can go, all right, good. Well, now what? So for me, I'm doing these type of interviews now. So, and it's like, I kind of resisted for a little while, but at the same time, it was like, give myself a couple, like, you know, we have a couple weeks to just, so you can either chill or you can, you know, create, or you can kind of do both. Because I also felt pressured because when I wasn't creating, I was like, beat myself up. So it's just kind of, I gave myself that like mindset of just, you know, don't be afraid to goof around all like half the day. And then the other half of the day, just get to work. So putting things like this together, doing goofy videos, doing like whatever, you know, you doing the avocado video, it's as silly as it may be, all that stuff makes a difference. I'm to myself watching chefs talk about what the best type of knife is. And I'm like, I don't even cook like that. But I'm like, these videos are like 15 minutes long. I'm watching the whole thing. I mean, it's just like people are hungry for content. So I give them something. And my attitude has just been like, you know, I try to prep for the worst thing that's going to happen, but be silly about it too. And I don't know, maybe this is a huge blessing in disguise for me.
Maybe. Like my concern too as well is like you said, the good thing is you're always prepared for the worst. I'll say this. I'm glad I have a friend like you right now because you give us that positive that we need right now. Like as a group, in our group, like you reach out or you'll, you know, like if somebody feels down or whatever, it's like you're like, look, man, it ain't the end of the world yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't look at it that way. Look at the bright side. But saying that, it's like stocking up on stuff and stuff like that. I'm also concerned about like a lot of these comedians too. Like a lot of people are doing like charity things for the comedians that didn't work regular jobs. That all they did was comedy. And I feel like there's all these platforms. I've been looking at so many because I'm looking for things to do as well. But you know me, I gotta come out with something a bang or something. I always like to surprise and shit. But I'm like, I want to find a platform where I can do something where we could all be involved together and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, stuff like this is cool. These, you know, this type of software that's out there, Zoom and wherever else, and you know, you can always go YouTube Live, or you could dig and find whatever other companies are making, you know, stuff. You know, I really respect the guys that just do one thing really, really well. You know, so for instance, you know, one of my favorite comedians and mentor, and you know, someone who I will always consider a big brother, is Toure. And to look at all his, you know, his whole entire journey through comedy over the past, you know, I think almost 25 plus years of him, you know, doing this on his own, and now he can't. He's not able to go perform the way that he's done. I mean, every Thursday he's on an airplane, every Sunday he's on one back. I mean, he's just always working. He's one of like, God. But to see him like be in a spot where it's like frozen, you know, those are, I'm sure all types of things go through his head. Like, should I do something differently? You know,
I like that he's doing like little tweet things on Twitter. Is that what they're called? Where he's like, my wife says this, that, and
those things are hysterical. So it's like, you know, the thing is right now, someone like him, while he may be, this is the point that I was getting at, is like someone like him, while like his income at this point, I don't know all the story. I'm just saying, like, you know, his ability to work is frozen right now. He's still staying in touch with his audience in the most creative way that he can, even if it's silly little tweets or if it's silly, like just something. So that when it's time for him to get back, he's going to go right back because he's a master swordsman.
Yeah.
Just is like, that's just what he does. And he's so great at it. So that when all this stuff does go away, I mean, here's what
everybody's going to come out better, I believe.
I see all of us, as long as we can weather this storm for a little while, we come back out and, whatever. And so the other thing too is like just to apply the ability to be so good at one thing, you know how to learn, you know how to do. So at the same time, you can still kind of shift at it a little bit. There's an old like ancient like karate story about this master who was teaching this apprentice who wanted to learn how to become the best fighter. So the master only allowed him to make tea. He was like, just pour this tea for me. That's your job. And he did that every day for years. And he was like perfected. And he like nitpicked on how he poured it, how he did whatever. And then one day the castle was getting stormed. And he was like, listen, go grab that sword over there. And he's like, I don't know what to do with it. He said, just treat it like tea. Just put all that same focus into whatever. And he just picked, and the story was, I think he won and slayed everybody.
Yeah.
But we're, one of the things that we're really good at, I see in a lot of comedians, is perseverance. One of the things I always see in us is we're able to take a horrible situation and flip it immediately and make it great, funny, or whatever. And whether that comes from snapping back at somebody or going through pain and being able to laugh at it right away. So this is a really good time to create. I mean, imagine if this would have happened in 1983 when we didn't have all this technology and be able to communicate and be able to do whatever. I don't have all the answers, but I know that there's ways to, as long as you keep your audience paying attention to you,
yeah,
you got everything that you need.
Yeah. Like I've been popping into people's lives, like their live stories or their stories or whatever they're called on Instagram. Yeah. I'll jump in. I'll watch for a few minutes. I'll wait. I give them my 5 minutes of attention. You got 5 minutes because I don't have nothing else to do right now to get me. You know what I mean? I'll sit in there and the next thing you know, like the person will be like, hey, they'll wave and I'll wave back. And you're like, who are you? And then you start talking to these people and it's like you start learning more and more about comedy. Like I'm learning a lot more from people that have been doing it for years and years. So for me, I'm like, wow, like this is awesome. Like this person actually recognizes me like any other time. They'd be like, who the heck's that? I don't know who that is. But now like they're just saying, even when I chime into something, say Sasa, and you know me. I have to let people know I'm a professional side. Period. Even though like right now times is a little down or whatever, PSP industries is shut down because of this coronavirus, But it
just has a ring to it. It's said like it's almost like you can't say Shay Sasa without the professional side piece.
Yeah, just cute. Somebody said, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, everything. Anything you think you may need. You paint houses, yes.
Yep.
Yes. Do you do this construction? Yes. Like right now, I'm offering the services to the wives because I know they got to be tired of their husband.
Absolutely.
Like, send them to the store, man. I got you. I'll come over real quick. I'll be out. Let me help you, help him, help you, help me.
And you go through the whole, I'm sure, protocol, the decontamination process when you come in the door. You got the hand sanitizer. I mean, you're
already know. We bring plastic out. We're very cautious.
Good.
Like we have our own plastic. We put that up in the area we're gonna be using. I try to pick a private area in the house, pick somewhere where it's just gonna be us. We won't get in trouble. Quick in and out, case
spouse comes home. Stick up all around the walls like Dexter.
Yeah, just a little bit, just enough to cover us. I mean, hello, it's just us. How messy can it get?
Sky's the limit, I guess. I don't know.
Cover the ground, cover the ceiling. Let's rock.
Yeah, I just saw missed this too. I mean, we're very fortunate as a group too, because we have something immediately as soon as this all opens back up.
Yeah.
So, as long as we can weather the storm and still get ourselves through this, which we will. We'll bounce back. It's not going to be forever. I just think it's going to be a while. It's going to feel like forever. It might feel like
I want to say that as long as we listen, people, as long as we stay in the house, as long as we're listening, don't go out unless you really have to. As long as we're not lining up to go get crabs or having cookouts or doing all that dumb stuff.
Right.
Let's be conscious and just, let me sit back because a lot of us don't depend on the government to live. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't sit back home and just collect the check. some of us have to go out there and make our money, make our living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta work. I had 2 jobs starting up that immediately when this happened, gone. But thank God I still got the other jobs that I do, my radio and then the translation. I'd be screwed without it.
And that's the thing. I mean, find a way. It sucks to hear that your job is not essential, because then a lot of people end up taking that personally and become, well, that means I'm not essential. Well, maybe what you were doing wasn't, but maybe you can figure out a way to become and figure out, there's a huge market in all this, and, there's certain things that are moving.
Yeah.
I don't know what they all are, but that's not on me to figure that out for everybody else. I mean, I've got my avenues carved out.
Like, I'm this close to going back to wiping ass, man. I'm essential. I just chose not to use my essentials. You feel me?
I do.
Like,
yeah, well, wear gloves.
But then again, I'm glad, because it's like, think about it. You guys are on the front line. Shout out to all the nurses and the doctors and all those people that are out there on the front line, because no, man. I'm kind of glad I didn't use my essentials. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Because I don't want to worry every day when I come home, like, oh my God. And then you got some people that really are not clean people.
So, it's an interesting ride for sure. See what the hell happens, but
wash your hands. Your mom's been telling you this for years. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
And try not to cough on other people. That's it. Stay away from it.
Dad, you better, Dad. You better do like, what's it, Count Dracula? 1. That's his name from freaking Sesame Street, the Count.
The Count.
He'd be like 1.
Just start coughing. Yeah.
Do this, Dad. That's how I taught my baby 11 years ago. When he used to sneeze, I used to be like, you got a dab, bro. You got to. Before it was even a thing.
Sneeze right in your arm. But then don't forget to wash your freaking arms.
Wash your arms too.
Because now you got all kinds of stuff in your elbows.
So how do you feel when you see these people with the gloves and the mask on, and they're like, does that
precautions
scare you? Or is that like, are you doing too much?
No. I think there's a lot of evidence that shows that it's a smart thing to do. If you're doing it right, like if you're wearing the same pair of gloves all day, you're completely doing it wrong, because you might as well not wear them, because you're bringing all this funk everywhere. So you leave your house, you touch your own doorknob. Now you touch your car door handle. Then you touch the gas pump. Then you touch the handle at the store. With the same pair of gloves on, that's not the way to do it. And unfortunately, this is news for some people. It really is. But especially, the amount that you may or may not have. I mean, conserve as much as you got. So if it means that when you go to the gas pump, you throw a pair of gloves on and then just, throw them out as soon as you're done, that's it. If you can have hand sanitizer, if you can, there's spray.
Like condoms. You don't use the same condom for the same coochie all the time.
You better not.
I hope they're changing in between usage.
Yeah. Throw it out. Use it once, toss it.
Use it once and toss it.
That's it. So, no, it doesn't really freak me out. I'm starting to see a lot more stuff about the masks, and at the very least, like, I get why you should wear a mask. If you're in close quarters, like if you've got to go into a supermarket or whatever, I mean, not necessarily to protect, like you might be carrying it, might not know. Like if you haven't gotten a test, you might be carrying it. So, I mean, consider that you might be. And for me, like, that's what I'm kind of starting to do too. I'm just like, and here's the bonus side to these masks. They throw off biofacial recognition scanners. Like the facial recognition scanners don't see your face. So wear it, You can.
I'm gonna wear
like a dream for stick-up kids. You can get bandanas. You can walk around with like all kinds of like stuff on your face, and I don't know. I think
I'm gonna walk around with this on my face.
Yeah.
Put the hat on my face, like put the shirt on my face. They're gonna be like, "Oh, who's that? High for hire? Let's see who they are." No, but crazy. Yo, we should make masks. We
That's
should
my
make
Aunt
our
Debbie.
Iron Man.
I'm down. Yo, I'll bet you if we did, yeah, we could put like logos on. I don't know. I'm down for whatever. See, there's opportunity. Let's figure something out. All right. Any last words?
Not really. We've really covered almost all of my questions, except I have one more.
Let's hear it.
Do you have enough toilet paper?
I'm good.
Okay. And sanitizer. Make sure you're washing your hands. Stay safe. Don't go out unless you had to. We love you. We miss you guys too.
Yeah, this is crazy. But I just, I don't know. I just feel like everybody's being held back at the gate. So as soon as it opens, it's just like we're just gonna take off. So
it's like when you go to your favorite concert and you're just waiting for them to open the gate.
As soon as they open the gates, you just storm and try to get the best spot. So I'm excited.
Yep.
All right.
Can't wait. All right. Peace and love, buddy.
Peace and love. Enjoy.
Yep. Go eat me a Charleston chew.
Oh yeah, that's right.